Meditation. Marcus books. Meditation. Let's continue reading. Page number 4. Next sentences. After all had been done possible to allay famine and to supply pressing needs, Marcus being forced even to sell imperial generals to find money. Both emperors set forth to a struggle which was to continue more and less during the rest of Marcus' reign. During this war in 169, Verus died. We have no means of following the campaigns in detail, but thus much is certain that in the end the Romans succeeded in crushing the barbarian tribes and effecting a settlement which made the empire more secure. Marcus was himself commander-in-chief, and victory was due no less to his own ability than to his wisdom in choice of lieutenants, shown conspicuously in the case of Pertinax. There were several important battles fought in these campaigns, and one of them has become celebrated for the legend of the Thundering Legion. In the battle against the party in 174, the day seemed to be going in favor of the foe, when all of a sudden arose a great storm of thunder, and rain the lightning struck the barbarians with terror, and they turned to rout. In later days, this storm was said to have been sent in answer to the prayers of legend which contained many Christians, and the name Thundering Legion should be given to it on his account. The title of Thundering Legion is known at an earlier date. So this part of the story at least cannot be true, but the aid of the storm is acknowledged by one of the scenes carved on Antonin's column at Rome, which commemorates these wars. The settlement made after these troubles might have been more satisfactory, but for an unexpected rising in the east. Amadeus, Cassio, an able captain who had won renown in the Parthian 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 War. Parthian Wars was at this time chief governor of the eastern provinces. Chief province. Itadakimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Sayonara. By whatever means induced, he had conceived the project of proclaiming himself emperor as soon as Marcus, who was then too feeble health, should die, and a report having been conveyed to him that Marcus was dead. Cassius did as he had planned. Marcus, on hearing the news, immediately patched it up, appeased and returned home to meet his new peril. The emperor's great grief was that he must needs engage in the horrors of civil strife. He praised the qualities of Cassius and expressed a heartfelt wish that Cassius might not be driven to do himself a hurt before he should have the opportunity to grant a free pardon. But before he could come to the east, news had come to Cassius that the emperor still lived. His followers fell away from him, and he was assassinated. Marcus now went to the east and fired there, while the murderers brought the head of Cassius to him. But the emperor indignantly refused their gift, nor would he admit the men to his presence. On this journey, his wife, Faustina, died. At his return, the emperor celebrated a triumph. 176. Immediately afterwards, he repaired to Germany and took up once more the burden of war. His operations were followed by complete success, but the troubles of late years had been too much for his institution. At no time robust, and on March 17, 180, he died in Pannonia. The good emperor was not spared domestic troubles. Faustina had borne him several children, of whom he was passionately fond. Their innocent faces may still be seen in many a sculpture gallery, recalling with art effect the dreamy countenance of their father. But they died one by one. And when Marcus came to his own, and only one of his sons still lived, the weak and wordless Commodus, on his father's day, finished page number 4 of 128. On his father's death, Commodus, who succeeded him and did the work of many campaigns by hasty and unwise peace, and his reign of 12 years proved him to be a ferocious and bloodthirsty tyrant. Scandal has made free with the name of Faustina herself, who is accused not only of unfaithfulness, but of intriguing with Cassius and egging him onto his fatal rebellion. It must be admitted that these charges rest on no sure evidence, and the emperor, at all events, loved her dearly. Not overfelt the slightest qualm, qualm, qualm of suspicion. As a soldier, we have seen that Marcus was both capable and successful as an administrator. He was prudent and conscientious, although steeped in the teachings of philosophy. He did not attempt to remodel the world on any preconceived plan. He trod the path beaten by his predecessors, seeking only to do his duty as well as he could, and to keep out corruption. He did some unwise things, it is true, to create a compare in empire, as he did with Verus, and he did with Verus, was a dangerous innovation which could only succeed if one of the two effaced himself, and under Diocletian, this very precedent caused the Roman Empire to split into halves. He erred, he erred, he erred in his civil administration by too much centralizing. But the strong point of his reign was the administration of justice. Marcus sought by laws to protect the weak, to make the lot of the slaves less hard, to stand in praise of, rather to the fatherless. Charitable foundations were endowed for rearing and educating poor children. The provinces were protected against oppression, and public help was given to cities or districts which might be visited by calamity. The Great brought on his name, and one hard indeed to explain is his treatment of the Christians. In his reign, Justin at Rome became a martyr, M-A-R-T-Y-R, the martyr, to his faith, and Polycarp at Smyrna, the martyr, Smyrna, and we know of many outbreaks of fanaticism in the provinces, which caused the death of faithful. This is no excuse to plead that he knew nothing about atrocities done in his name. It was his duty to know, and if he did not, he would have been the first to confess that he had failed in his duty. But from his own tone, in speaking of Christians, it is clear he knew them only from calumny. We hear of no measure taking even to secure that they should have a fair hearing. In this respect, Trajan was better than he. To a thoughtful mind, such a religion as that of Rome would give more satisfaction. Its legends were often childish or impossible. Its teaching had little to do with morality. The Roman religion was in fact of the nature of a bargain. Men paid certain sacrifices and rites, and the gods granted their favor, irrespective of right or wrong. In this case, all devout souls were thrown back upon philosophy, as they had been, though to a less extent, in Greece. There were under the early empire two rival schools, which practically divided the field between them. Stoicism and Epicureanism, the ideal set before each was nominally much the same. The Stoics aspire to the repression of all emotion, and the Epicureans to freedom from all disturbance. Yet in the upshot, the one was become a synonym of stubborn endurance, the other for unbridled license. With Epicureanism, we have nothing to do now, but it will be worthwhile to sketch the history and tenets of the Stoic sect. Tenets. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism. Zeno, the founder was born in Cyprus at some date unknown. Zeno นี่เป็นผู้ก่อตั้ง Stoicism หลักการ Stoic ปรัชญา Stoic เกิดในไซปรัสแต่ว่าวันที่ไม่เป็นที่ But his life may be said roughly to be between the years 350 and 250 before Christ. Cyprus has been from time immemorial a meeting place of the East and West, and although we cannot grant any importance to a possible strain of Phoenician in him, for the Phoenicians were no philosophers, yet it is quite likely that through Asia Minor he may have come in touch with Finish page number 5 of 128. Next page. have come in touch with the Far East. He studied under the Cynic crutch, but he did not neglect other philosophical systems. After many years study, he opened his own school in a colony at Athens called the Painted Porch. Fortune 非常非常哦，stout stove which gave the Stoics their name. Next to Sinon, the school of Posh almost to Chrysippus 280 to 207 before Christ, who organized Stoicism into a system. Of him it was said, but for Chrysippus there had been no Posh until page number 6 ถึงหน้าที่6จาก128หน้าแต่ว่าเป็นหน้าที่6ที่ยังไม่จบถึงวรรคอันแรกถึงประโยคที่เขาพูดว่า but for Chrysippus there had been no Poshครั้งหน้าเราก็จะมาต่อที่หน้าที่6 Next time we'll be continuing the page number 6, PDF 6 of 128 pages. Bye for now. Bye for now. All day, all the time. Bye bye. Bye for now.